And we're going to be talking to Aparna today about Diwali home styling. And Aparna's actually curated some very special looks for us. So before we get into the looks, I wanted to just talk to you, Aparna, about how you started this venture. What was your motivation for starting it?
First of all, I want to thank you, Divya, for inviting me on the show. And my name is Aparna Chand. I have recently launched this venture called Serigold Styling. The name actually is something that I made up 5 years ago. It's a combination of serigraph, um, where I wanted to take away the last part of it and add gold to it. Since gold is something that we enjoy in India, it's luxurious, it's something that we invest in. And I just wanted to have that ethos in mind, that every time you pick up something for your home, it's something that you should invest in. And recently I found something very anecdotally funny, is that Seri in Tamil actually means yes. So
Yes.
Seri, so yes to gold really. And I just came up with this name about 5 years ago. And the reason I've started it now is because my daughter turned 3 years old in Jan. And I'd always told myself that I wanted to invest in my children first and then go back to a career. So my previous experience is in banking and tech, and now I've completely shifted gears to home styling. And the reason I've done that is because I've had the opportunity to, after getting married and moving to India from Switzerland 11 years ago, to style 6 to 7 homes of my own. And what I realized through this journey is that I always found my computer science degree very soulless and lacking. It was very functional, but the creative side was never being used. And by doing up my own homes over the years, the feedback and love and warmth I've received from family and from friends has always been that, Aparna, we love your home because it doesn't just look like a home that somebody's copied out of a catalog. It breathes about you. Every corner in your house is embellished with memories of places that you've been to, journeys that you've had in life, whether it being a child that was born or a place that we've traveled to. So everything that I own in my home is curated by me. And I wanted to share some tips with you tonight about how you can style your home in your own way, using your own sense of aesthetics, while keeping in mind a few tips that I'm sharing along the way. So I think we can now start.
Great. Yes, we're eagerly looking forward to that. So over to you. Which is the first look you're going to be showing us today?
So the first look is something very precious to me personally, because I think most people have a sideboard in their living area or a buffet place that they can use in their dining area. Right. And I have styled actually a look that can work on a sideboard as well as the centerpiece of your dining table. So if you're planning to do a buffet style lunch, dinner, or a gathering with your family and friends for Diwali, you can use the same place setting on your dining table. And whereas if you're planning to be seated at your dining table, you can use a lower place setting. But first I'm going to focus on the sideboard styling for Diwali.
Okay.
So before I begin, I want to just talk a little bit about how I went about doing it. What was my thought process behind it?
Right.
I wanted something this season, one color was speaking out to me more than others. And somehow it was green. I think maybe Mother Earth is healing at this time, during this difficult time of COVID, and we are all seeking some sort of healing in our families. And green is the color that I was seeking for. So I decided to get a green runner made, which is my own design. And it has hints of gold and silver, so that no matter what materials you use on it, especially metallic ones, whether it's silver, pewter, or any other metallic ornaments that you want to use, everything can go with it. It's versatile. The other thing I thought about was that I already have a very colorful painting here, which has many colors. And I also have a colored wall. So how am I going to put this together so that every piece can shine on its own?
Correct.
Right? Every piece should stand out, and I try to keep it as minimal as I can while adding a touch of what I feel is Diwali this year. So let me begin first by the items I have chosen here. So let me begin with the silver items first. This is a candelabra that I have picked up in Israel, and it's very dear to me. It normally takes centerpiece on my dining table. And I have paired it to complete the look with other candelabras, which are less ornate and more contemporary. These two have been placed to tie in with the silver in the middle, and to tie in with the embroidery on the and the work on the runner.
Right.
Also, silver is something that we do coin puja, we do Lakshmi puja in a few days. So I decided that this was the right time to bring out the silver. But since I come from a home where both parents have completely different styles in what they like, one, my father being somebody who loves ornate things, and my mother typically likes very clean lines and contemporary stuff. I think that reflects through my styling. So here what I've done is I've played with heights. So these two candelabras are at different heights to create a little bit of drama, but you can use anything that you have in your home. If you have two of the same height, so I have chosen to be symmetrical about it. But if you choose to be asymmetrical, that's fine too. At the same time, I've kept in mind that if something is ornate, next to it should be something linear and simple, so that each can shine. And right next to it, I have yet two other candelabras, which are very contemporary, but have ornate work on top and a base which is straight lined. Now, since it's Diwali, and I didn't want to burn too many diyas because of the AQI, I have put two of these eco lamps, which are just battery operated, and chosen to have two of these motives which are lit. And these candles are from Blind School, since we are supporting Blind School in this endeavor. They are just the flower shaped candles, and I've lit them. And this Lakshmi Ganesh is something that a very dear aunt of mine had given to me 5 years ago for Diwali. And since we're doing Diwali styling, I thought, why not use it today? So hence, to summarize the look, I first thought about what color I really want for the runner.
Right.
And then I worked my way upwards. And I wanted to play with heights. I wanted to play with textures. I wanted to play with different materials while still creating sort of an aha moment for myself when I looked at it. And the way I test this out for myself is that if I don't feel that aha moment happening, then I play around and I adjust things till I feel that it has reached my sense of aesthetics and perfection. So this is the first look. And this can be used either on a sideboard or on your dining table based on what style of entertainment you're doing with your family this Diwali.
Right.
So I will take you to the next look right here.
Okay. Hi, Mina auntie. Hi, mom. Thanks for joining. And Aparna, that's great because a lot of people, I think the first step is they're really not able to visualize it. And second, the way you've combined very ornate pieces with the more clean cut contemporary lines. And also you've played with heights very interestingly. A lot of people would think twice before putting, two elements of two different heights on either side of a centerpiece. So we love that look, and there's some wonderful comments coming in from the audience as well. So over to you for the next one.
So this second look, as I mentioned, is again something that you can do on any sideboard.
Right.
It could be a bedroom, it could be any part of your house, but for now I'm going to focus on the dining room. So this look has been created for the dining room where you are actually seated at the table with your family.
Okay.
I kept the setting low. So when you're talking to each other, you should be able to see each other. enjoy the conversation, catch up after a long day, play cards perhaps later, and remove your other table settings. So with that in mind, again, I have played on the same notes. I'm in love with green this season. So that's why I have the same pairing. And again, I have mixed and matched materials because that's what I really love.
Right.
This is a beautiful bowl that my husband's cousin had given us a long time ago in Bombay. Okay. It's beautiful and it's ornate. And these are contemporary candelabras, which my mom gifted me a while back. This is again a candle. Some mogras I have put in just for softening the look, because on dark green and brown, you need something to soften the look. And also, I think it's very important that you stimulate all your senses when you're styling your home. Right. So one is visual. The second is olfactory. So when you're eating, you don't just eat, you don't just use your mouth, right?
Right.
You eat half your food with your eyes. If the place looks beautiful, you're already in the right mood. Think of a beautiful restaurant to go to.
You're eating with all your senses. Correct.
Yes, you have to tickle all your senses. Yes. You have to have fun with it. Otherwise, it's not really magical. So you have to leave a little glitter wherever you go, as they say. So I've infused this with Mogra fragrance. It's something that is beautiful, subtle, and most people will like it.
Right.
Needless to say that I have sanitized, washed, dried everything in here personally. And to tie in silver again, I have used this, which I've just placed. I've placed this candle votive upside down and put this on top in little tea light. And here I've played with what I consider Christmas lights or just fairy lights. And I've just used these two to just add a little effect. And these are my existing votives again. The only addition are the blind school flower candles. Now here I have a suggestion. If you want to add another touch of color because it's Diwali and you like red, you can. But if you would like to just focus on the neutral colors, you can remove that. And I can give you a completely simple tip, is that if you have, these are actually the covers that go on your silver glasses.
Okay.
Okay, so I have used them as a base for my candle. These are flower candles from Blind School again.
Right.
So this is just to give you an idea of what you can do. If you're somebody who's really colorful and you think that you would like to add color, you can add color. The other thing you can do is, since we are talking about the dining space, is that if you have colored mats around your dining space, in the middle, I would recommend putting a neutral colored runner, either a silver or a gold, to offset it and break the bright spot of color if that's what you're looking for. Or play around the other way. Put a bright red runner in the middle or a green one or whatever color you have and put neutral mats around it.
Okay.
Now let's get to the part that most of us are very excited about. If you go to a beautiful party, but the food isn't good, that doesn't really work, does it? So let's first focus on the traditional setting. Okay. Diwali is all about colors. I think a lot of us own silver at home. And even if you don't, I love this mat. It's something I picked up a long time ago from women who work in Calcutta and make these. Very, very poor women, in fact. So I picked this up 2 years ago and I just fell in love with it. I saw it and I first thought, oh dear me, it looks very, very Christmassy. But then I paired it with my Chandi ki thali for a very special occasion in May. And I loved it. I just absolutely fell in love with it. So I'm sharing this with you. I have paired it with 2 silver cutlery pieces, just a fork and a spoon, because traditionally in Indian food, you use your hands. You don't really need a knife. So I haven't used a knife. And I have paired it with a gold napkin. This is actually something that was in my Nani's house. So this is my old Nanima's napkin. And really.
I love how we just take these things, from moms and nannies. They're the best, I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, every time I see it, I remember her. So I think, why not? Yeah. And this is again, a napkin ring I picked up a while ago. It has elements of different things like pearls and bronze and crystal. And so to keep the rest of the look neutral, I use these. Just a simple silver glass with the cover. And I would advise that you either keep it to two katoris, two bowls, or maximum if you have more items, you actually put them inside the thali and lay out three katoris. And that's enough. The simpler, the better and more elegant.
Right.
Lastly, this is Diwali. I thought maybe a little touch of silver and a little something to make your own place setting special. So this is again a little votive that a dear friend of mine gave me last year. And I paired it with the red candle. It has the detailing of little elephants on it. Right. Which is very Indian, of course. So this is my traditional go-to look. I obviously change it up with a neutral matte, or I add a colored napkin in between with some flowers sometimes. I play around with it. Now that I've figured out that I love this, it's like a blank canvas for me, except I'm using cutlery and napkins and candles rather than a paintbrush and paints.
Right.
So I'm going to take you to the next look, which is more contemporary. Again, my love of green this season. So I have chosen, again, things that I already own. Just a dinner plate, a quarter plate, and I've done a very simple fold here. Paired it with a gold napkin ring since I wanted to bring out the gold. And again, paired it with silver, but a different set of silver because this is more contemporary and that is more Indian the way it is designed. Paired it with one bowl. In case you have something that is, if you want to have a meal that is Diwali, but you want to add a contemporary look, you can use this. The silver and gold is already adding to the glitter. I've paired it with a champagne glass. And underneath it, I have a coaster, which has got gold foil inside it. And I've customized it with the initials of our 4 family members, our nuclear family, which is Kaira, Aryan, Sohil, and Aparna. And I call it Casa, which is home in Spanish, Espanol. Right. And since I'm in home styling, I thought it's a very appropriate name. And my daughter really actually completed our home. So now I would move on to the third styling, which I think it's a little early for this, but this is a little sneak peek on what's coming in for Christmas. Okay. So the third way to style is to use a contemporary mat, which is in a leatherite material. It's very easy to maintain. You just wipe clean, and it's got a lot of texture already on it. But you can use it with any of your plates. It's neutral, and it's a nice subtle gold. So it's got hints of gold, and when light shines on it, all the different shades of gold sort of dance on it. Yeah. And now I've paired it with very simple ceramic plates, which I've picked up. We normally use these as our breakfast plates. I've paired it with, again, beautiful wine glasses, again given to us by one of our very dear aunts. A simple candle, and a very dear friend of mine from Philippines gifted me these printed jute and fabric coasters. Gorgeous. Yeah. So I have paired this to just bring out the red. The red. And you can actually use this for Christmas and New Year if you would like. And I have paired this with a silver bow tie, napkin ring, because it's contemporary. And to me, it's like a gift wrapping. You're tying a little gift. And again, you can play around with these napkins. I know how to do many different napkin folds. In a future session, I can teach you how to do one which looks like a rose. It's beautiful and it's very easy to do. And again, I've paired it because it's a more contemporary look. Oh yes, and don't forget the flowers. Don't forget nature. That's also the theme here. Everything has to have a little element of nature. I've brought that in here as well. Again, none of this is something that I've bought for the styling. It's all stuff that I own.
Right. It's just how you've put it together.
That's right. So it's just about how you put it together. You can play around as much as you want. My first recommendation to you is to first think about what you want to highlight. Do you want to highlight that? Do you want to highlight your crockery? Do you want to highlight your glasses? What is it that you're looking to highlight? And then build on it, layer by layer. And the other thing you can do is if you're having multiple drinks, you can have a separate glass here for water. If you're choosing to have wine or champagne, you can have the fancy ornate glass. And if you choose to have a more traditional setup, you can just remove this. It's very, very easy and simple to do. Now let me just... So any questions or any...
Yes, so actually there is a question coming in from Radha. She's asking, can you light the candles in the candelabras that you've shown? She wants to know if you can actually place a candle and light it.
In the ones here, yes, you can. These require very, very thin candles. So you can actually put in as many candles as you want. But the reason I'm not doing it is because we have very terrible AQI right now. And air purifiers are running in the home. So I want to keep it a safe and eco-friendly Diwali.
Right.
So let me walk you through the next place. Which is your coffee table.
Right.
And I think most homes have one. And I'll tell you a little story about this coffee table just for a second before I begin.
Okay.
When we were doing up our first own home in Bombay, my wonderful mom-in-law gifted us this beautiful pewter piece that she had picked up.
Okay.
It's absolutely fantastic. We had options of putting it on a wall, maybe doing something else with it. But we decided that we were going to make a coffee table out of it.
Okay.
And originally this table was in grey, but for this home, we've converted it to black to bring out the colors inside the pewter piece. Now, this table itself doesn't need much. It's already so pretty. But since it's Diwali, I always like to dress up my home for Diwali. So what I have done is played with traditional banana leaf as a base, which again has been washed and sterilized by me personally. And I have thought about what is it that I want to highlight first. So for me, I love flowers. I think they bring a lot of cheer, joy. And these haven't bloomed yet. I've just put in these this morning. They will bloom by tomorrow. What I have paired it with is a contemporary blue vase to represent water. I have styled it with a brass plate, which is again, during Diwali, a lot of people like to use their brass items. So you can use anything. You can use a bowl. This is a tray. I have paired it with these ghee diyas, which an NGO makes in town and empowers women. And they are eco-friendly and don't produce any toxins. Then, since I love flowers, what I did is, again, I have these beautiful casa coasters here. And you should think about always what the side looks like. Right. So I wanted to give an effect of water underneath with something reflecting below it. And so this worked for me. I started with this and I decided to use whatever artificial flowers I had at home because lotus is, again, a very traditional Indian flower which is associated with worship. And we do put our Lakshmi and Ganesh onto lotuses when we do our Diwali puja. Hence, it's very relevant. But I paired it with pink lilies because I love lilies. And these are my contemporary flowers with my traditional flowers. And my contemporary vase with my traditional banana leaf. And I have simply paired, these are actually nut bowls and brass. But I've paired them with yellow votives from Blind School. And I had a choice of leaving just the middle part. But since it's Diwali, it's about prosperity, abundance. Everything should be flowing, joy, cheer, love. I decided that I was going to dress it up one step further. So you have a choice in your own home. You can, if you're not inviting anybody, not too many people, you can leave this as it is. Put your snacks on either side and you're done. But if you have more items, you can just remove these. It's very simple. But if you'd like to add the drama, then I would keep these lotus shaped. These are my own, again gifted by somebody to me. And I've just added, simply put a garland of flowers. I've played with only white, pink and yellow to keep the look coherent and not introduce too many new colors into this styling. So I have a bigger one, and again, they came in a pair. And on this side, because the bowl is smaller and I can't use the same thing and I wanted to keep a cleaner look, I've just used the base and the candle.
Right. And that's also balancing it very well because, it's giving that right balance to the entire look.
So this is sort of the simple setting that I've done, which is for your coffee table. Now I would like you to just see one possible setting for your coffee side table in your dining room or your drawing room. So here I have taken the same leatherite mat that I used on the dining room. I have a set of 8. And because it's Diwali, I have brightened up this dark side table with a textured look. And what I've done with the rest is I've decided to play on simpler tones, bringing in the green again, since I'm in love with green this season. I have used almond rocks on top, contemporary chocolates. I have put now some sweet cookies, but you can put mithai or anything else that you choose to have in these bowls. And I have paired it with a beautiful contemporary candle, which has a vanilla fragrance. And again, to add that touch of color and match it with my wall, as long as it's in the same shade of colors and the same family, I think it blends in and it brings it together. So these are also beautiful flowers and I've just let them flow. And I've actually used an old wine decanter as the base of the mix. So this is a wine decanter and I've used it as a vase today.
Nice. This is stunning and such a nice way to put the chocolates and things out. You've got, it's all coming together very beautifully.
So, yeah, I think for today's session, we've covered 3 elements. This is the sideboard, our dining area, and our entertainment area, which is your coffee table and your side table. I can just quickly run through what I've done in the other spaces. I have just put a lotus candle, which again somebody gifted me to tie it in with the lotuses. I've paired it up with the blind school lotus motif with a silver artifact, which again has potpourri in it to enhance the fragrance in the room. And lastly, I have paired my own tray with 2 ceramic bowls for 2 different types of sauce with my own spoons, which are gold. So these are post-dinner. You can choose to do this and bring these in later if you like. But this is just a quick set of tips from cerebral styling for you.
Aparna, this has been absolutely stunning. I think the kind of tips we've got from you in terms of how to combine different, materials, different heights, different elements has been really very helpful. And hi, Kamal. He's saying hi. So a lot of people are really going to benefit from this Diwali. I noticed your logo is actually a butterfly, and I wanted to talk to you about that towards as we are wrapping up this chat. What was your inspiration for that? Because our logo on Real Transformations is also a butterfly.
Yeah, so in context of business, yes, I've come from my little cocoon of being a caterpillar and I've emerged into a butterfly to choose into a butterfly, something that beautifies any space that's it's in. It moves from one place to another. So I am actually going to be styling homes in the near future. So metaphorically, I'm a butterfly that's going to be coming and beautifying your spaces. And not only that, it's a running joke with my father. In every single room, I have something which has a butterfly on it. So I have necklaces from my childhood which have butterflies on them. I have brooches. It's kind of a childhood thing that has kind of continued. And I have a lot of books on butterflies, and I have read all of them. I have been to museums on butterflies. I've had butterflies on me. I've jumped. I mean, I can share so many anecdotal things and interesting things in my lifetime. But to me, to have a logo without a butterfly was just incomplete.
Okay.
But I wanted a contemporary butterfly.
Right.
I did not want the curvy one. I wanted the one that is more angular and straight line.
Yes.
And that's why it is the way it is. And the other little butterfly is at the end of gold, because it's about to fly off and do many beautiful things later. So this is just a little sneak peek as to what I'm going to be doing in the new year. And the real big launch of Gold Styling is upcoming in April 2021, which I am very, very excited about. I've been preparing about it, I think, for the last 5 years. But I think I finally had the time, having 2 young children and a home to manage, and all the other responsibilities we need to play in our life as a wife, a daughter, a friend, a mother, and yourself, to launch this, to take this opportunity that life has provided us, to inform myself and take my dreams from just inception to reality.
Excellent, and that's what Real Transformations is also about. It's about connecting with people like yourselves who've taken that leap, transformed, and, followed their passion. So again, thank you so much for your time today, and, giving us a sneak peek into these wonderful looks and your beautiful home. We wish you all the best for your launch. We can't wait for it. And anybody who has any questions, please feel free to connect with Aparna. She'll be happy to answer them. Kunal's also here. Hi. And, we'll also be putting up pictures of the looks after this, chat. So all of you can see them. Aparna, any parting thoughts, any last words before we close for the day?
I would like to say that I've tried my best to support Blind School through this initiative. By not only procuring stuff for myself, but whatever extra I had, I have passed on to people who have asked for it at the same prices as Blind School, of course. And I think it's a wonderful organization. So if you've liked this session, I will please ping me, and I would like to share the account details of Blind School with you. So please contribute. I think this is a part of giving, a part of being festive and bringing cheer to an privileged child or a person who cannot see the beauty that they have created. If we can even do just a little bit for them, I think it'll go a long way. If we can just bring a smile to their faces, I think that will be wonderful. So with that in mind, I'd like to wish all my viewers a very, very happy Diwali, a safe Diwali. And I really hope that this new year brings you everything that you've ever wished for. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. And I hope to see you again in the near future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Aparna. And thank you, dear viewers, for joining in. Please open your hearts and let's contribute to Blind School. We'll post the details in the, post after the chat. Let's light up their Diwali as well. And wishing you all a very, very happy Diwali. Thank you, Aparna.
Thank you so much, Divya, for having me today.